Libra, today I am picking up that there's someone that really wishes to have you back in their energy, because I keep hearing that song Baby Come Back. And we will decide to see in what way, in what capacity it'll work for you, and if it's in any form going to be of a supporting nature for you or not. Welcome to the Arcana Veil, where we will be looking into the energy as it stands. Can we see 3 clarifiers for Libra? We have crossroads, we have immersive, and one last card. We have resources. In the nature of this reading, we can actually see that there's definitely a tug of war taking place for some of you. This is a collective reading for the Libra placement, wherever it is in your chart. Overall, there is a frequency of needing to make a decision, as by the crossroad, something that is so immersive that you may find yourself within that space of perhaps needing to escape, or perhaps it's something that is drawing you into a point where you feel that you need to establish new ideas within having to make a plan to perhaps get out. Either way, I can actually feel that it doesn't feel too disruptive in the energy field. This may actually be people, places, or things that you may encounter in your path. Within this, it's quite apt to have the crossroads as the leading in of the card for you, as it suggests that you will be needing to make a decision. And in this decision making, you'll have to decide where you place yourself and in what way is there going to be something that you can actually get resources from. So this may be for someone with regards to work, wherever it is in your chart, Libra. Let's have a look. We have the 7 of coins here, showing a road underneath the crossroads, one that may actually be filled with quite a lot of things that you need to take note of on your pathway. So definitely related to someone needing to find out about work. Here's the commander, which is the emperor. The nature underneath the immersive, so you are definitely going to go into a new direction work-wise for some of you. You're planning on a new endeavor. We have the 7 of cups here, 7 and 7. Very interesting. You're definitely going on a journey. There's the sorcerer, and we have the high priestess here. So in the heart of the nature, we have the 7 of cups, something very specific related to the passage in which you are finding yourself in. Is this a situation where you're going to decide what really brings you the food of the investment taking you forward? Will you have the resources to establish a new direction in which to follow in? You have the commander or the emperor within the nature of your energy here, which is very much supportive for you. It says that you are immersive within that nature, which means you're able to be in control of the actual journey that you're going to be taking place, or that you are choosing to take. We have the 7 of coins here, and the furthest part here with the crossroads is, so you may be deciding between 2 jobs perhaps, or 2 things that are going to need investment of energy or resources. In one choice, we will see that you are able to see what it is that you could gain from the one decision. You will perhaps step into a higher position of work, a higher leadership role from what I can see here. On the other end, you may also be able to gain from this experience a lot of information, resources, the magician or the sorcerer here, that gives you the ability to recreate new things. So you have a lot more free reign on this side. So free reign versus leadership, both are in a leading position here, and it's really a matter of needing to decide which one to work with, because the Seven of Cups definitely displaying the nature of what you have had to endure over some time in the past. We can see that the High Priestess is also that leads you out of here, so you're definitely needing to make that decision. That is personal to you. I can only present to you the questions as they have been formulating over the last few days, which, even if you've not seen this channel, will have been answered for you, because there is no time, and therefore all seeking knowledge does come through the energy within the ethers. Let's have a look for you overall. What is in the shadows? What is there to look at, to be mindful of? And then we will bridge that to come up with a solution for you in the end. It's definitely something that relates to, okay, the Queen of Swords underneath the Seven of Coins here. Definitely indicative of a need to change, something very forcefully, feeling like you're being forced to have to make a decision because of certain circumstances, because of what you already know, that has already taken place. There has been some of you that have been approached by someone. Maybe you've been headhunted by another company. If this does not work for you, I am also seeing that there's a relationship that is kind of coming to a point where you're needing to set new rules in place, where you are able to redirect the focus now on yourself. In other words, establishing what it is that you need to do will help you to create a new direction in the dynamic between you and your others and the others around you. We have the Two of Wands underneath the Emperor position here, the Commander, which is definitely associating itself with having to know that you've got the ability to communicate. I hear the gift of the gab, which will definitely play in your favor here. So far, these things are coming up because they have not really been acknowledged by you. This is why we are seeing what we're seeing. The Fool is underneath the Seven of Cups here, and we have the Ten of Swords underneath the Magician. There is definitely a place in which you are experiencing the need to re-establish your foundation, but it has to start from within. I'm also hearing that there needs to be some forgiveness for the self, for feeling like you've let yourself down in some ways. I'm seeing here that this is a new position for you to be in, so you want to make the best work for you in the way that is the most resourceful for you. There is also the doubt that you've got with the one that gives you more free reign, that you know that when you had all of the vices, all the control, all the reins in your hand, that you doubt your ability to actually be in command of that process, and yet your very nature of your archetype shows here as the commander. So you are in control of commanding a direction in which you're needing to go, whether you're masculine or feminine. So therefore you are being given a nudge, one could say, to take note, take stock of where you've come from, what you've achieved, what you've had to build in order to reach this position of, let's say, power that you are reaching out now towards. Very interesting with regards to needing to make the decision, because it is in your nature to be able to decide between what is rightfully yours versus what is another or an other's. What is yours, and what is the others is theirs, and needing to set that boundary in place there. You're very good at doing that. Let's see the last card here for the High Priestess. There's a lot more that came out, but we're going to take them because there's something about this. That's why you've come up. Temperance here underneath the High Priestess. We have the Eight of Wands here, and we have the Wheel of Fortune over the High Priestess. Very powerful positions to be in. these are the leading aspects of your deepest nature that you are feeling that you could tap into. But it seems to me like maybe you're feeling more like you would want to go towards a place where most things are taken care of, because you kind of give me the idea that you're a little bit tired of having to make a plan all the time. I keep hearing someone says, I keep having to make a plan, and a plan has to be made, or I have to make the decision. I keep having to make the decision. And in that nature, if this is in a personal relationship or capacity, if that is what is going on around you, then definitely delegate. That is why you have the position to do so. You have the authority to actually put down certain rules to happen. I'm seeing here that you are quite tired of actually having to put a lot of things in effort in place here. There's some sort of excess of energy that you've been using a lot more of than you should have been doing. There's also a little bit of procrastination, which I can see seems to come through here with the Temperance. We can see that the Eight of Wands is definitely leading us back to having to look and see where there is a position of energy that needs a little bit of an adjustment here. The strongest card to look at is the Crossroads card, that actually gives you already the idea of which way should I go now. I mean, I've come to the point of my last decisions that I've made, the last choice in which I have set certain things in place work-wise. It definitely feels like a work reading or a career path leading, which makes me feel like you are definitely between ideas of needing to decide whether you should perhaps carry on studying. That's also coming through as well. You've done a lot to prove that you can, the Magician, put things in place. You have the capacity to do that, but somehow the energy here, what makes me feel is that you've used a lot more than you should have. So the energy shows me that there's a little bit of imbalance here, and that's why you feel kind of hesitant in going into that same position again. This could also apply for relationships where you are perhaps the one that has been working the hardest to keep the relationship going. If that is the case, then the situation with regards to that particular process where you've laid down the position and said, no, you know what, I'm actually letting you now do some things to make this work, because I'm kind of tired of doing this. I'm going to sit back and observe, Wheel of Fortune, how you are going to make the wheel move forward. And the Eight of Wands here, very strongly indicative of saying that you kind of had done already all of those things. You've done most of the groundwork, especially if the High Priestess is in the background here, which is your main frequency that you are embodying right now. Can we see the bridge over this? Where are we going? Either way, you're going into a new direction. That's a very, very strong, clear indication here. Whether it means that you have set new rules in place, or whether it means you've just brought new rules in to accommodate you. Ace of Wands here, very strongly saying over the Two of Wands that you seek to find that new way of experience. You need someone to light your fire. I'm hearing baby come back again, so maybe this is an old relationship that wants to requicken itself, but I see the flame is already out. There's the Eight of Pentacles here. You see now, there's definitely a focus here on bringing me to the emotions around work and relationships. Perhaps it's someone at work that you're having a bit of an issue with. You're kind of wanting to leave that department because you can't sit around the same fire with a certain person of interest that you are not interested in anymore. It's making it a little harder for you than it used to be. Eight of Pentacles definitely saying that you're going to take another pathway that really is much more fulfilling for you, even if your flame is a little cool as we speak. Can we see it leading out now, going towards a solution for Libra? We have the Eight of Cups here. You have a lot of eights here, 8 of wands, 8 of cups, 8 of pentacles, and the 7 and the 7 underneath, which definitely shows that you're going towards now setting a fulfillment, personal self-fulfillment in place rather than to fulfill another person's obligations and expectations of you. So you're definitely setting certain things in place here, whether it's someone at work that you just can't take their stuff anymore, you can't handle their projections onto you anymore. You're definitely deciding to cut things down and moving into a much more sort of space that supports the nature of your own personal reality. If this is an old established relationship, if this has been with a person for a long time, there's the Justice here, as well as the 6 of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. That energy is also coming through. So for those that are struggling in a relationship that seems to feel like it's had its days and you're in the middle of particularly some sort of divorce, which I can see here, Justice very proudly coming through. We can see that there's definitely going to need to be an adjustment. Knight of Swords very strongly having to keep that in mind so that you don't lose out on this perspective in defending yourself in the way that you're dealing with this through the court systems. I'm not a legal advisor. Neither am I a financial advisor, but I am telling you what the energy is showing, that it's going to require for you to put down a little bit of homework and put down certain documentations that's actually going to give you the right indication of how to address the situation in a very justice sort of way that will benefit everyone in an amicable manner, as much as you're able to do so, of course. I hope that this has given you some information and some guidance with regards to the energy as it stands, Libra. This was your reading, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe if you have enjoyed the way that I read. This is a unique channel, and thank you so much.